All right, so I'm gonna take a break from like deep diving into content creators' footage and pulling out parts I think are the coolest. IGN has a hands-on preview, so we're just gonna react to it and see what they got going on here. So let's look at it. Link will be down in the description. Go give it a like. Let's see. Hopefully, it already looks better than their last preview. Okay, it already looks better. So let's see.
There is something magical about being unleashed upon a Forza Horizon map for the first time. I'm restricted from showing you the first few minutes of my hands-on Forza Horizon 6, and I think that's more than fair enough. I'm hesitant to even describe it, since the carefully curated opening drive of a Horizon game is really something best experienced for yourself without any spoilers. I can, however, show you anything and everything.
Just the night vibes going around on the highway. The old Nismo 370.
Experienced for yourself without any spoilers. I can, however, show you anything and everything I did after I'd passed the prologue, and I've been doing plenty. Alongside establishing that the preview build was locked to the 30 FPS quality mode and that the 60 FPS performance mode will be available in
I'll be playing on widescreen PC. It's going to look really good.
Documentation Playground supplied to us explained this preview was good for around an hour of linear play. It would, however, subsequently support as much free roaming as we saw fit. On my first day, I played through that hour, and then
the drag strip, basically you pull up to the line, and then you hit ready, and then it kind of like fast travels you right into it, like no loading, and then the tree counts down and you go. So that's pretty cool.
And then another.
Look at this, dude. I wonder how the day-night cycle is. I haven't played Forza Horizon 5 since it launched, and I honestly don't even remember if it had a day-night cycle. I'm sure it did, because I remember it being nighttime. But, you know, it's gonna... There's really no bay shoreline. There's no, like, tunnel going down the bay shoreline. They kind of smushed a lot of things in the map together, but let's see.
Until it was suddenly, well, after midnight.
Tokyo Extreme Racer vibes.
Following morning, I dove straight back in and played all day again. If the preview didn't have a cutoff time, I can guarantee you I'd still be playing it now. Not bad for a build with just a tiny sliver of the 550 cars coming on day one, and barely
it's so vibrant and colorful. It looks so fun. I've been watching footage for like 3 hours now.
Our Forza Horizon 6 preview contained 3 race events, a cross-country, a road race, and a trail race, as well as a smattering of familiar Horizon PR stunts, several of which were drift zones set on what are easily already amongst the best ribbons of switchback-filled roads in the whole series.
Yeah, this is looking good, man.
The races were in service of earning the right to qualify for the Horizon Invitational, which will be our pathway into the Horizon Festival proper in the final game, although the Invitational itself was not part of this preview build. As previously discussed,
S13
is returning to the
depending on where you live
structure of the original Forza Horizon.
in Japan, so it's an S13.
I like the presence of race marshals and other festival infrastructure at the staging area for races. There's a level of credibility this sort of thing injects into the atmosphere, which helps the festival itself feel like it's a big operation run by actual people, and that there's more to it than just icons, menus, and loading screens. I will say the initial trio of cars has left me a little curious. That said, I'm not completely sure whether or not the selection itself is reflective of exactly what we'll see again in the full version of the game next month, or whether this was some kind of compromise for now that's bespoke to this preview build only. I honestly don't mind that they come carrying modifications already before you even slip behind the wheel. That is, it's probably more authentic that the first Sylvia or Saliki you'd slide into after landing in Japan would have had some work done from a previous owner. Actual, unadulterated bone stock survivor cars are arguably far rarer prospects in this context. What has tripped me up, however, is the slightly odd spotlight on the distinctly American GMC Jimmy. As a car dork, that's a bit too
It is a
random,
weird choice for the
especially when Japan
previews.
is already home to some of the most iconic off-roaders ever made. There were differences in the cars featured in the footage from Playground you saw during our March IGN First, compared to some of the cars I saw in these situations while visiting the actual studio itself in February, so it is perhaps possible that it's still a placeholder at this point. For now, it's just a little weird that this isn't, say, a Nissan Safari or a Toyota FJ40.
Cool. Gotta agree
For
on
someone
that.
who spent hundreds of hours in each Forza Horizon dating back to the series' 2012 debut, the events themselves feel quite typical of Forza Horizon's robust and reliable brand of racing. The racing is good, which is what
2G
I expected,
Eclipse.
although I'll concede I didn't feel compelled
FC,
to replay them during my
GTO.
limited time with this build. What truly hooked me was cruising the world. I just can't get enough of it.
God, look at that, man. God. The transition to nighttime, and then nighttime is going to be my favorite. Oh my God. And this is on console. It's going to look way better on PC.
Forza Horizon 6's map is
Like, just look at the reflections of the water, how well it reflects the environment. Like, that alone is insane.
showstopper. My glimpse of it during our
Holy
February
shit.
visit to Playground Games gave me a hint of the scope and contrast the studio's vision of Japan was gonna offer, but in retrospect, the corridor of the map I was ultimately privy to at that time barely scratched the surface. I've always been an absolute sucker for that authentic feeling of digital tourism that a truly high-quality open world is able to provide, and Forza Horizon 6 is absolutely oozing with it. My initial reluctance to comb through the map too thoroughly before the full game arrives next month was rapidly overridden by just how successfully the world of Forza Horizon 6 immersed me into its Japanese driving fantasy. I found myself constantly compelled to explore and discover, with every new road bringing with it something eye-catching and interesting.
God, look at it.
I've loved visiting the local
Shibanagama.
race circuits dotted all over the map. Only one was an active time attack location in the preview build, but all of them could be explored and driven on, including an unsealed dirt circuit and a dedicated drift track.
Yeah, dude, look at that, dude. Drifting at night.
Despite my general reluctance these days to
I'm
get
sold,
too
man.
drawn into
Give it to
any
me.
competitive back and forth in games I typically play to relax, I guess I did get an appropriate enough kick out of finding a way onto the leaderboard at the time. However, more broadly, I just liked being at them. I love their rural grassroots motorsport feel, and I can't wait to spend so much more time at them with my
Yeah,
friends.
I mean,
and my
there's nothing
sons.
like
They
if you
just
ever
have
watch
so
like
much
Mighty Car
charm and-
Mods or Sammit or like any of the YouTubers that have gone to Japan and gone to some of these tracks that they have, like, you know, you're driving through like wooded areas and like you just come to this clearing where there's a track and it's surrounded by vistas and mountains and just forests. Like, there's nothing like tracks in Japan, and they've captured that so well, man. Like, holy shit, the nighttime just looks amazing. Amazing.
Character and their worn curbs, cluttered pit areas, and piles of hastily painted safety tire bundles make them feel like authentic places with real history. I've loved going for long drives through the countryside to observe how the surroundings change. I can confidently say already that Forza Horizon 6 is far and away the most beautiful Horizon game to date.
Yeah, it's so dense. There's
Driving up to the
Look at
Japan
this.
Alps, the gradual blend of increasing amounts of snow on the ground is gorgeous, and I love the vivid contrast between the lush green grass and the beaming white snow.
That is
shining
pretty
in the
fucking cool.
sunlight. Ascending along stretches
Look at
of
that.
mountain road, portions of which have been completely carpeted in blossom petals, was consistently stunning. Discovering shrines tucked away up quiet forest roads, or exploring skinny tracks that aren't even marked as one of the game's 662 discoverable roads, has been fascinating.
Hell yeah.
I've loved looking for complex drift lines at the huge
Or
docks,
wharf.
snaking around the massive stacks of containers and machinery, and then doing it again,
This might just be the docks.
and again, and again. I've spent
thought I
a
was gonna clip it.
potentially inordinate amount of time scouring for car parks, and the verdict is they're everywhere. Car parks at the racetracks and tucked away on side streets. Tiny little parking lots hidden beneath overpasses.
At least you can
and
drive
a
into those.
massive multi-story monstrosity down at the docks, complete with curved ramps for fulfilling all your Tokyo Drift fantasies.
I mean, that's wide as fuck. Hopefully there's one where it's like, you know, tiny, you can test your skill.
Right now, I was only ever discovering these solo, but I can't wait until all of these become personal places to meet up with friends for impromptu car meets or set-off points for convoys.
Yeah. Yes.
Combined with the seemingly equally high prevalence of petrol stations, I think people who will be really looking to immerse themselves into Forza Horizon 6 in a proper role-playing capacity are going to be particularly excited.
Yep.
Perhaps above all, I've loved hooning around Tokyo City itself.
Yeah,
The density and verticality of this space is unlike any other city Playground has made. And I can see myself playing entire sessions of Forza Horizon 6 without leaving the limits of the city itself. And that is absolutely not something
Breathtaking.
you could
Dude, they
say
did a
about
good
any
job.
previous Horizon game. It is colourful, it is detailed, and it is so varied. From the engineering spectacle of multi-level bridges and overpasses.
I have yet to
upon
find. I have a lot more videos to go through, but I have yet to really find anybody try to specifically go around like the C1 loop or what would be the C1, or maybe I heard Tatsumi's in the game. I saw Hoki Hoshi touch on that, but he didn't really like drive to it or away from it, so I couldn't really tell exactly if, you know, leaving that goes onto the highway, or we know it doesn't go to the Rainbow Bridge like it's supposed to, because the Rainbow Bridge is right outside of Daikoku, and Daikoku's moved up. Some weird choices, but I do want to see exactly what, because if you look at the map, I don't have it pulled up, but it doesn't look like you can fully stay on the C1 and loop around. Like, it looks like it dumps off in the city at one point, and then you got to drive a bit to get on back on the other side. It doesn't look like a full loop. Hopefully that's not the case, but
passes to the tight and quaint alleyways webbed across the downtown district.
You found a mascot.
And yes, I've loved getting goofy. While I thought perhaps the Shinkansen might operate in its own little sealed-off instance, I can report it definitely does not. So if you too want to get hit by a bullet train, you have just over a month to wait.
nice.
For more on Forza Horizon 6, check out the extensive developer interviews we published throughout our March IGN First and the latest trailer. For everything else, stick with IGN.
All right. Well, that was IGN's previews, but they redeemed themselves from the other stuff they released was kind of poop. The Art of Driving stuff, I don't know if we're getting one of those a week, but that was a good little showcase. Like I said, I'm cutting through everything. I got a bunch of clips from Hoki and AR12 that I'm going through, but man, there's a lot of content to pour through. I'm trying to get a lot of the Toge highway stuff together to really see exactly how that is. I haven't seen anything of Daikoku yet. I don't know, like some of the bigger YouTubers just, I guess they don't really understand Japan. Hoki does. He had a good job, and he said he's got 2 more videos coming out. So I know he's going to touch on, but like everybody else kind of doesn't, I guess, get the really deep core of Japanese car culture to really show off like what I want to see, like what maybe some of us like that have played a lot of SRP or Assetto Corsa mods, or you know, a lot of Japanese culture stuff. Like we're looking for certain things, like I think Tokyo Extreme Racer, C1 Loop, Bayshore Line, the whole Shinkanjo, all that stuff. We're kind of looking for certain things, and a lot of the toges, and I haven't really found anybody go and explore that yet. I do have a couple up that I need to look at that is like an hour of driving, so hopefully I can pull it from there. But yeah, I mean, I know a lot of their preview build was limited to like 3 races and no multiplayer stuff like that. So I don't. You could still drive to Daikoku though, and none of them have done that yet. But I'm gonna keep digging through and see what we can find. But so far, I mean, the game visually looks amazing. It looks like a lot of fun. Mount Akina's in there. It's not quite a 1-to-1, but it's looking good. But anyway, I'll be digging through some more footage, kind of pulling out things I think are the coolest. But you know the drill. Subscribe, come back. See you on the next one.